What if I told you that you're paying for a subscription you never, ever signed up for, and that it's quietly siphoning about $600 from your bank account every single month? You'd probably want to know what it is, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into. This is a subscription you pay for not with an app, but with almost everything you own.
And I know what you're thinking. I've canceled all my streaming services. I don't pay for any of that stuff. But the biggest subscription of all isn't an app on your phone. Nope, it's hiding in plain sight, all over your house.
So, let me introduce you to your stuff subscription. Yeah, you heard me. It's the constant rolling cost of just owning things. All the stuff you need to live a modern life. It's not a bill you get in the mail, it's more like a slow, steady drain from the constant cycle of replacing things.
Okay, so how do we get to that wild number? Let's break it down. This isn't about your monthly car payment. This is the purchase price of an item divided by how long it actually lasts in the real world. So that $1,000 phone, you'll be lucky to get 2.5 years out of it. That comes out to over $33 a month. And that new car? Oh man, it's losing value at a rate of almost $380 a month. That's just depreciation. That's money you're literally losing just by having it sit in your driveway.
So, when you start adding it all up, the phone, the car, the laptop that's getting slow, the washing machine that's making that weird noise, it all comes out to nearly $600 every single month. This is your existence fee. It's the baseline cost just to maintain your personal inventory of stuff in a world where, let's face it, things just aren't built to last. And that's the real kicker here. This isn't like paying for Netflix. We've entered a whole new era where we're basically paying a subscription for the very idea of ownership. You think you're buying something, but really, you're just renting it until it breaks. Then it's time to renew your subscription by buying a new one.
But why? Why is this happening? Is everything just getting worse by accident? Well, not exactly. As we're about to see, this whole cycle of replacing things faster and faster, it's often a feature, not a bug. First up, we've got the battery time bomb. You know, the lithium-ion batteries inside our phones, our wireless earbuds, our smartwatches. Well, they have a limited chemical lifespan. After about 300 to 500 charge cycles, and if you're charging your phone every day, that's less than 2 years, their ability to hold a charge just falls off a cliff. And since these batteries are usually glued inside a sealed device, a dead battery means a dead product. And this chart illustrates the problem perfectly. Just look at that drop-off. After just 500 charges, you're already down to 80% of the original capacity. And it only gets worse from there. This is why your 2-year-old phone can't seem to make it through the day anymore. The chemistry itself has created a built-in, predictable expiration date. And then there's the software kill switch. This one is infuriating. This is when your device, the hardware, is perfectly fine, but the company just decides it's obsolete. Think about a smart TV where suddenly your favorite streaming app just stops working because it's not being updated. Or even worse, Google's Chromebooks have a literal auto-update expiration date. After that day passes, they stop getting security updates, which basically turns a perfectly good laptop into a piece of e-waste. You know, this isn't just about our fancy electronics either. Even our big, heavy-duty appliances are failing way faster. A washing machine or a refrigerator used to be a 20, maybe even a 30-year investment. Your parents might still have one that works. Today, you're lucky if you get a decade. And the reason is simple. We've replaced simple, durable mechanical parts with fragile, expensive electronic control boards that, frankly, often can't handle the job. Okay, so things break. Why not just fix them? It seems like the obvious solution, right? Well, that brings us to the next layer of the problem. The system is being deliberately designed to make repairs difficult, expensive, and sometimes just about impossible. One of the key tactics they use is something called parts pairing. It's pretty sneaky. Manufacturers use software to digitally chain a specific part, like a camera or a screen, to that one specific phone. So let's say you crack your screen. If you try to replace it with a genuine, identical screen from another phone, the software can actually disable key features, like Face ID. This completely guts the independent repair market and forces you to go back to the manufacturer for their super expensive service. And that brings us to this thought, this exact phrase. This is the sentence the entire system is engineered to make you say. It's what some people call the 50% rule. Companies intentionally price their spare parts so high that the cost of a repair gets really close to half the price of a brand new device. And at that point, your brain just goes, well, it makes more sense to just upgrade. And just like that, you've renewed your stuff subscription. I know, it all sounds pretty bleak.
But it is not hopeless. We can absolutely fight back, and we can escape this expensive, wasteful cycle. The key is to start shifting our thinking, away from being a temporary user and back to being a true owner. Here are 3 really powerful strategies you can use. First, we have to advocate for our right to repair the things we own. Second, we can get off the hamster wheel by buying used. And third, we can start deliberately choosing products that are either built to last a long time or are simple enough to not have these engineered failure points in the first place.
Advocating for the right to repair is all about pushing for laws that make companies play fair. It means forcing them to give everyone, not just their own technicians, fair access to spare parts and repair manuals. It means banning practices like parts pairing. And believe it or not, this movement is winning. Just look at the EU. A new law is coming that, by 2027, will require all new phones to have user-replaceable batteries again. Imagine that!
Now, the financial logic of buying used is simple, but it is so powerful. Remember that nearly $400 a month in depreciation on a new car? Well, when you buy a car that's a few years old, you let the first owner take that massive financial hit. You get a perfectly reliable vehicle without paying for that brutal initial drop in value. The same exact principle applies to phones, laptops, tools, you name it.
So, what's the big takeaway here? In a world that is engineered for disposability, where we're all unknowingly paying this hidden subscription just to own things, maybe the most radical, the most cost-effective, and the most empowering choice you can make is to just value things that last. Maybe true luxury isn't the newest, shiniest object. Maybe it's the old one that still works perfectly.